to face, not only in the game this week, but what we got going forward. So everybody needs to step it up. It's that time of the year. I think we got guys in our unit in the locker room that recognize that and know how to step it up. So hopefully that's what will happen.
Every makeup of every team is different, and every marathon is different every year. Sometimes you start ahead of the race, you know what I mean? You start in the number one line, who is the closest, and sometimes you got to start up back. But for us, most importantly, it's about the climb. I think we're exactly where we need to be right now. We've got a lot of great guys on this team, exceptional leaders and the coaches and athletic department, and we got the team to do it. And where we at right now is where we need to be, and it's a great start. We get this 1-0 every week, and we'll be where we need to be at the end of the season. No need to panic.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Red Friday, November 14th, 2025. Stephen St. John in the studio. Jake Gutierrez pushing buttons. Deebs backing him up. Chiefs, Broncos this Sunday. Let's go!
Chiefs, Broncos.
Today on the show to talk about the Chiefs and the Broncos and other football topics, but mainly Chiefs and Broncos, Stan Weber. Then we'll get the weekend forecast from Jeff Penner. We'll roll through our New Day Blitz and talk Mizzou with Gabe DeArmond, K-State with Matt Walters, and KU with John Kirby. Then we'll lock back in on the Chiefs with Pete Sweeney from the Kansas City Star. Deion Clisso will give us a quick high school football preview from Preps KC. And then an hour of power with Chiefs Hall of Famer Tim Grunhard. All Chiefs and Broncos.
A former Chiefs player is actually the head coach there,
Tim Grunhard,
known as Grunny.
The excitement level is very high. Perhaps the anxiety level is very high. Although I am extremely confident, and maybe I'm a fool, but I am. I fully believe the Chiefs are going to go to Denver and make a statement and win.
Oh, yeah!
And climb back into the AFC West race. And begin a really long stretch of good football in the second half of the season, starting with this game against Denver. We have not seen the best from the Chiefs yet, and it's time to see it. We'll also hear from Steve Spagnuolo, Chiefs defensive coordinator. He spoke to the media. Matt Nagy, offensive coordinator. Special teams coach Dave Tobe, and also Chris Jones.
That is awesome.
So good comments from all of those gentlemen who spoke to the media yesterday out at Arrowhead. I will offer up, before we get into all football, or pretty much all football, I do think that we're closing in on a trade by the Kansas City Royals and something significant. There's too many warning signs right now. There's too much buzz out there at the GM meetings. And there's too many people reporting that the Royals are in discussions with other teams and interested in certain players to try to help the offense. And so I know we're all locked in on football, but that is very exciting. We've got to keep an eye on that because it seems like something's going to pop sooner than later. And amongst the reports that I'm referencing over the past 24 or so hours, you can look at Mark Feinsand, who wrote about the Royals and said specifically the Royals are focused on the outfield market, looking to add a left fielder, ideally one who can play every day, and then a right-handed bat who can complement the left-handed hitting Jack Caglione in right field. So already leaning towards making Cags a platoon player and then looking for an everyday left fielder. Several people reporting, including some people in St. Louis reporting, that the Royals are among the teams that are showing interest in Brendan Donovan, who could play second base and play some outfield, but come in and play second base. I like that. That could be interesting. Also, at The Athletic, there was an article yesterday from Will Salmon saying that multiple teams are interested in Chris Bubich because some of the top starting pitchers on the free agent market are going to be too high priced, and some of the other high-end starting pitchers, teams are asking too much for them in trade, and Chris Bubich might be the sweet spot. And he also says that, it's unlikely that the Royals will trade Waka or Lugo. It'll be tough for them to trade Cole Reagan, so who's that leave? Chris Bubich. And then, of course, Noah Cameron. But specifically, he says multiple Major League teams interested in trading for Chris Bubich. So we were wondering how much interest there is out there in Chris Bubich. There seems to be a lot. So that could be something that happens. So just keep that in mind. And they're also trying to decide what to do with Jonathan India, which I think will be an interesting question. Like, if you're another team, are you interested in Jonathan India as a bounce back? Is that somebody you'd want? Should the Royals be hoping to put him at second base and he's going to have a bounce back season offensively? That's a question that they have to figure out. And so that's another variable that they're dealing with. So, lots of stuff happening right there. And it seems like the Royals are in the middle of a bunch of it. And that's a good thing because they have to add offense. And they have to be aggressive. Don't you agree, Jake?
Oh, yeah, they have to. I mean, that was a giant issue last year, left field, and they need to add hitting to this team. I mean, how many times does this team have great pitching and then it was destroyed by a lack of, even runners in scoring position, the team was terrible. So, yeah. I love to hear their names involved in any, it sounds like they're being aggressive. Love it. Love it.
Right.
And also, I like hearing Donovan's name involved in second base.
Does Deebs like that?
Deebs, you like that? Yes, sir, he said.
Come on, Deebs.
Yeah. That was an issue, too.
All right.
Massey can't stay healthy?
Yeah, that's
I mean, I had high hopes for him. I know you did too last year
Right.
going into the season. But, I mean, it's unfortunate. Hate to see it, but he's a guy who just can't prove to stay on the field. So you got to do something. And if a team is interested in India, then I think it's all right for the team to move on if you can get something for him. Or, cross your fingers. I think I'm ready to move on from the Jonathan India experience.
No, we'll see what happens. A lot of moving parts. Royals are going to be active, and hopefully we'll have stuff to talk about next week. Now, Chiefs, Broncos. I can sit here and tell you how important this game is, but I've done that for the past 2 weeks. If you don't know it by now, you're never going to know it. This game is huge. Right now, I mean, as big as a regular season game could be right now. I mean, it's not a true elimination game. Winning, you're in. Losing, you're out. But I think it is when it comes to the AFC West Championship. And we've mentioned that several times. There's just no path, really, for the Royals to win or for the Chiefs to win the division if they don't beat the Broncos on Sunday. I know some people suggested that the season could fall apart if they don't win and they could be in jeopardy of not making the playoffs at all. I still think that they would get themselves together and make a run and make the playoffs as a wild card team if they didn't win this game on Sunday.
There's just too much football left to be played to say something like that.
Right.
I mean, that
Well, people want to be dramatic.
sure,
That's fine.
sure. But, I mean, that there's just – I mean, there's just too much football to say. If they go to Denver and lose to Denver up, their playoff hopes are smashed. I mean, that's –
They would be damaged, but I still think they would. There's enough football left, and I think they would win enough games to get into the postseason. You know what? If there's a team that could be a 6 seed or a 7 seed and take that path and get to the Super Bowl, what team would you bet on? Kansas City.
that's right.
That would be the team to do it. And look, I'm not telling you I think they're going to lose the game on Sunday, but that could be a hell of a revenge tour. 2 of the most heartbreaking, sickening losses ever at Arrowhead Stadium were the AFC Championship game overtime loss to the Patriots and the divisional round playoff loss to the Broncos after the 97 season. And maybe if things work out that way and the Chiefs end up as a wild card team, we get to see them go on the ultimate revenge tour and go to the Denver Broncos, with the Broncos being the AFC West champs and the higher seed, and break their hearts at Mile High. And then maybe in the championship game, the Chiefs are destined to go play the hotshot second-year quarterback in New England that's trying to overcome the multiple Super Bowl winning champion Chiefs and the best quarterback in football, Patrick Mahomes, and his Hall of Fame tight end, Travis Kelce. And then the Chiefs go to Foxborough in the championship game and break their hearts. And then they can record a stupid video of them smirking, walking to the bus like Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski did after that overtime win. Remember that? When Tom Brady and Gronkowski recorded that video where they were just smiling and smirking and not saying anything after they beat the Chiefs in overtime, after everyone thought that was going to be the passing of the torch.
Thanks a lot. I haven't thought about that for a long
Right?
time.
But guess what? Maybe it's an opportunity for
History to repeat
how much
itself.
satisfaction would you take? Because I think they, you
Quite
know
a
what?
bit.
I think they might do it if that were to happen. Can you imagine a video of Mahomes and Kelce just smirking, getting on the bus, returning the favor years later? So I think about all these things. That could,
That's deep,
these
that's
things.
a deep cut.
Yeah, it is a deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
It is a real deep cut.
I know.
But those things could play out.
Absolutely.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just telling you, if they lose the game on Sunday, the season ain't over. They still got plenty to play for, and hell, they can still get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But that's not what any of us want. We all want the Chiefs to extend the streak of winning the AFC West.
Absolutely.
And we all want the Chiefs to go to Denver and remind them who the boss is. And remind them who runs the AFC West. And it would be unbelievably satisfying to see this team win in Denver, to beat the Broncos. Because the Broncos right now, their fan base, the majority of their fan base, and the people covering the Broncos believe that this is the passing of the torch in the AFC West. Now it's time for their dominant defense and their young hotshot quarterback and their Super Bowl winning coach to take over the West. And the Chiefs are on the decline. And the Chiefs can go shove that football where the sun don't shine on Sunday and remind them, no, this is still the Mahomes era. This is still the Chiefs era. This is still the AFC West that belongs to Kansas City. And wouldn't you love to do it to that fan base?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, don't you remember?
Oh, absolutely.
Don't you remember Sean Payton suggesting that there was even more disappointment last year in the playoffs that they lost to Buffalo because they really liked the matchup that they would have had against Kansas City in the next round. They really liked that matchup. Well, now you get it on Sunday. You get that matchup that you like so much. Be careful what you wish for. You don't think Andy Reid remembers that? Or Spags? Or any of the key players? Like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. You know Mahomes does. Oh, he liked the matchup, huh? You were looking forward to that. Of course they wanted to beat the Bills. But Sean Payton, he said that, and I can promise you there's several people at Arrowhead that haven't forgotten that. If my dumb ass remembers it, you know they do. NFL playoff leverage going into Week 11. This is how big of a swing this is, Jake. If the Chiefs win, and this is one metric that shows this, if the Chiefs win, this is probabilities based on 50,000 simulations of the remainder of the season. Playoff probability. If the Chiefs win on Sunday, 84% to make the playoffs. If the Chiefs lose, 55% to make the playoffs. Just to give you the example, right? Okay. I like this. For Washington. No, this is, okay, for the Falcons. If the Falcons were to win, they'd be 12% to make the playoffs. If they lose, 2%. They're not making the playoffs. That just shows you the kind of swing here, right? The Bears, kind of wild, 66% if they win, 35% if they lose. Any other team you want to know about? Your precious Steelers?
Yeah, what are the Stills?
If the Steelers win this weekend, they're 50% to make the playoffs.
Okay.
If they lose, 22%.
Yeesh.
Right?
What about Jacksonville?
60% to make the playoffs if they win, 24% if they lose.
It's like moving day in the NFL.
Yes.
A lot of good matchups this weekend.
Chargers, if they win, Chargers are playing Jacksonville.
Right.
Big game, right?
Yeah, huge.
And for that, head-to-head and everything else.
Yeah, big playoff implications.
Chargers, if they win, 91% to make the playoffs. If they lose, 61%. Still a good chance, but still there's a big swing there. But for the Chiefs, 84% if they win, 55%. And look, that's
Yeah. It's
It's
a
just
computer
give you
simulation
an
model.
idea.
It's a model.
Like for teams, they're in like the Eagles, 99.5% if they win, 96% if they lose.
Right.
They're going. I like those. I like those numbers. So, it's a gigantic game. Statement game. Can't wait. And again, as I've said this a million times this week, for those of us of a certain age that went through the Chiefs, Broncos of the 80s and 90s, and John Elway and his teeth, and losing that game after the 97 after the 97 regular season. It means it's like the SEC. It just means more. It does. And hey, look, if you're a young Chiefs fan, that I love you. You know, but you've been spoiled. You didn't go through a lot of terrible things. Like if you came along, you know, and had to deal with Scott Pioli and Todd Haley, Romeo Crennel, you got some scars. But if you went through the late 70s, 80s, and then had to deal with all the Marty Schottenheimer playoff losses, you got scars all over your body. You're like Jack Bauer after he got released.
From China.
He was tortured. We're like, by the way, 24 is coming back.
What?
They've talked to Kiefer Sutherland. They've talked to the creator. And there's been a lot of progress to 24 coming back.
Oh, boy.
I didn't want to spring that on you, but
Oh, boy.
you think that puts a little pep in my step? Huh?
Yeah.
Would you like to watch that?
Yes, please.
Would you sit down and watch to see what Jack's doing now? Of
course I would.
Oh, yes, you would.
Of course I would.
Oh, yes, I would. Oh, my God. When I read that, like, give me more. Let's go. Make it happen. Don't you tease me. Point is, we've been through it. And it just means more. Beat the Broncos. Beat the Broncos!
Can't wait.
That's right. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. What's up, Kansas City? Steven St. John here for my great friends at WeatherTech Renovations. The weather has been beautiful recently. There's no doubt about that. But it's not going to stay that way for long. Why? Because this is Kansas City. And it's the middle of November. And it's probably not going to stay in the 70s much longer. And then when we start to get into that colder weather, there could be rain, freezing rain, hail. Then we start to get to the ice and snow and winds and everything else. Weather that could damage your roof. And if we go through that and you think there's been some damage to your roof, leaks, missing shingles, storm damage, you'll need to act fast. That's when you call my guy Brian Donegan and his rapid response team with WeatherTech Renovations, Kansas City's trusted name for storm repair, roof replacement, and inspections. They'll stop the leaks before they become major problems, so you don't want to wait. And right now, if you think there's a problem with your roof, before the bad weather hits, have them come out and inspect things. Make sure you're good to go and ready for the bad weather. All you need to do is give them a call at 816-988-8957. 816-988-8957, or online at WTRenovations.com. That's WTRenovations.com. And when you talk to someone from WeatherTech Renovations, tell them Steven St. John sent you. Damn it, Jake, I'm texting with my wife. Want me to say hi?
How's she feeling?
She said she's
Feeling better.
a little bit better, yes.
Good.
Might try to go to work. We'll see.
Progress.
She's been sick this week, Stan.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
But you know what? I've been taking good care of her. I was sick last week.
Sorry to hear that.
But Jake, I tried.
You didn't tell me that
no,
last
Jake,
week.
Jake told me
Yeah.
if I missed a day.
I was here last week in the studio.
Jake said if I missed a day and made him work with Nate, then he was going to quit.
Yeah. So I'm going back to the mountains.
And I told him, please don't. So he just didn't want Nate in here.
I got leverage.
I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know why.
I
like Nate in here.
I like him. He's a nice guy. Just some deal with him and Jake. Chiefs Broncos.
Whoa.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Stan, I'm excited.
You should be, because last week, not having the Chiefs really changed the weekend's activities and enjoyment. Plus, the NFL had an off week, which doesn't happen very often. Not a lot of great games and a lot of separation in games. You know, not late second field goals right and left. It was more like, oh, there's a 20-point differential. So it was not a normal week in the NFL, and it is gearing up to look like a giant week in the NFL this week, and the Chiefs are back. And not only as a Chiefs fan are you interested in watching your team closely, I'm talking about anybody who's interested in the NFL, even internationally, wherever you're a fan. I keep saying this. There is nothing better in sports than when you're sitting there for that 3 hours and 15 minutes watching the Chiefs play, because they play everybody close. Every play is exciting. Defense is good. Offense is good. The opponents really want to win. Chiefs football is so awesome. I missed it very much last week. And now we not only get it back, we get a division rivalry game on the road with the Chiefs under some stress. Usually in the last 5+ years, it's, we got to win because we want the number 1 seed.
Whose voice? Is that Nate's voice?
No, that's Jake in Colorado.
Oh, boy. Wow. Shots fired to Jake Gutierrez in Colorado.
Well, this guy could segregate himself away from the NFL and act like it's no big deal. I cannot believe that's true. I know, and you act normal. Like you still you act like you like the NFL.
I love it.
But as much as I connect with him,
I don't think he acts normal.
Okay,
that's a stretch.
Well, when he's around me,
right? Okay.
You know, he doesn't invite me over in the evenings. I don't have no idea what's going on then. But here, Jake and I have a great connection, I believe, on many fronts. But one of the most important is football and the NFL. And I cannot believe that's such discipline for him. I mean,
tremendous discipline.
It's like a long Lent or something. I'm not gonna watch the NFL. Well, not even the Super Bowl.
DraftKings, all that discipline's right out the window. You know that?
He's making up for lost time.
Well, you could say that.
I hope you're enjoying it, Jake, because this is fun.
I think he is.
It's the best.
Before we get in to, because we're going to spend a lot of time talking about Chiefs and Broncos and play some sound from yesterday, got to keep reminding myself college football is still going on, and college basketball is here. And so college basketball, last night, wild one with Kansas State. They were up 55-34 over Cal at halftime, and we'll talk to Stan about this blowout. And then Cal put up 62 in the second half. K-State still wins 99-96, like an NBA game. P.J. Haggerty scored 23 points. And so tell me about K-State outlasting the Golden Bears 99-96.
Going into the game, the Golden Bears had Day-Day Ames, who started 16 games for K-State
Day-Day
2 years ago. Scottie Pippen's son, who transferred from Michigan as a starting point guard, and he plays really well. So Cal comes in off a poor season last year, adapting to the ACC forever. Can you imagine the travel issues that they have and how hard it's on their bodies to go?
Fine. Right.
So anyway, Cal hit a reset button and played very good offensive basketball and won 3 games easily. They come in. K-State had won 2 games easily and scored a ton of points. With K-State scoring 99 points in their last game, they've scored over 90 points in each of their 3 games. 98 one game ago, 62.3% shooting, best in the Tang 4-year era. And they surpassed that last night by shooting 64+% in this game. Scored 99, missed 5 of their last 6 free throws, or they would have scored 100. It's almost like the 100 mark was just not going to be allowed to occur. And so K-State goes out and gets the job done here. And for only the 10th time in K-State history, and for only the second time since November of 1985, K-State shot equal to or greater than 60% for both the first half and the second half. So it's an offensive show. K-State was 9 of 18 from behind the arc. The first 2 games, they hit 14 threes. K-State shooting and plays offense. So going into the game, I thought, should be a very close game. I don't know who's going to win. K-State's got a big home court advantage. You expect K-State being the favorite, that they could get the job done. But this is probably going to be close and high scoring. Well, if you just hear the score this morning and you watched the NFL last night and didn't track with K-State, that's exactly what we ended up with, 99-96. But that's really fake news because K-State was never in a position to lose the game. They led by as many as 25 points. They shot the ball well the whole way through, and Cal did a great job of bombing threes. They hit the second most number of threes against K-State basketball team in the history of Wildcat basketball, trying to come back at the end, but they just pulled within 3 with 0.2 seconds left. So really, K-State led by 10 to 25, even all the way the second half. So it wasn't nerve-wracking to say, is K-State going to win? It wasn't back and forth at all. It was back and forth for about 3 minutes, and then K-State took off and dominated. So it's weird that the score ended up for those backdoor cover type people or whatever. I assume Cal covered. I didn't see the odds, but Jake may know.
What were they, Jake? I bet that's the over.
It should be over with both teams in the 90s. So, yeah, K-State continues to play great offense. They played good defense and rebounded well in the first half, not the second half. Give up, 62 points in the second half to Cal. But K-State's in a fun 5-game stretch. At this time in basketball, how often do you hear, your favorite team or the local team's playing someone tonight, and you may not even know how to pronounce their name?
Right.
You know? You know how to pronounce Bellarmine when it's not spelled that way?
K-State was a 6.5-point favorite. Over-under was 164.
And they covered it for almost every minute.
I bet there's some people that...
Oh, yeah, they went to sleep probably. We got this one. This is in the bag. And then another 3 and another 3. But K-State goes...
Basketball's tough to
K-State has a 5-game stretch where they don't have any of those Bellarmines or little sisters of the poor. We're going to whip up on you. They won last night against Cal. They play Tulsa on Monday. They come to Kansas City if people want to watch the CBE tournament. Mm-hmm. You know how it's usually played Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week? They've moved it up. It's going to be Thursday and Friday of next week, Stephen. They play Mississippi State night 1 on Thursday, and then on Friday, decent chance it could be Nebraska against K-State.
Nebraska ball.
And then after that Thursday-Friday stretch, Monday I fly to Indiana, never been, to see the Hoosiers on their home court.
That's a bucket list.
That's a really cool arena.
Yeah, K-State at Indiana.
Assembly Hall.
So I haven't been to Indiana on campus for football, basketball, or anything else.
Jake's been in there.
And you really want to play a basketball game, right?
Right.
Yeah. So K-State in Indiana, that ends a 5-game stretch.
Now they're a football
of really
school.
good. Ooh.
You know,
they may be number 1 in the nation when I get there.
Right.
How about that?
So I mentioned P.J. Haggerty, and this is what college basketball is now. TCU, Tulsa, Memphis, and now K-State. In the last 2 years, he's averaged over 21 points a game, and he's averaging over 24 points a game right now. How good's this kid?
He's really good, and he is playing point guard for K-State. In the past, he basically went out and made shots. Now, he's not a three-point bomber. He gets into the lane. He gets fouled a lot. He hits mid-range jumpers, a little bit old school. But at K-State, he absolutely has bought into being the point guard. Ball's in his hand all the time. He waits for his time. K-State was lighting up the scoreboard last night in the first half, and with about 8 minutes left, he hardly had scored. He's just playing, and then all of a sudden, he'll quickly score 6, 7 points, snap of the fingers, and for every game, he's scored in the 20s this year, easily, without forcing anything. So he's the leading scorer by average in the Big 12 right now, and it seems really easy. The joke around is, does he sweat? Because he played, I believe, if not the most, one of the most number of minutes last year in college basketball. Like, he didn't come off the floor. And so he really wants to play that 35, 37 minutes a game, where most players are trying to get into, 32, 34 minutes is what most coaches want their best players to play. So we'll see how it goes. He's not giant and strong or or necessarily tall. He's just a nice basketball player at 6'3", 6'4", whatever he is, handles the ball super well, passes the ball well, and still gets his scoring done. Last night, I think he only shot one 3-point shot. So he'll get his 20 points without shooting three-pointers, but he does get fouled a lot. He gets to the line a ton.
Other quick question I have, you saw Missouri up close in their exhibition against K-State. Mizzou just blew out Minnesota by 23. I don't know how good Minnesota is.
With a great second half.
And now Mizzou has, like you said, Prairie View, A&M, South Dakota, South Carolina State, Cleveland State. But then first week of December at Notre Dame and then KU and Kansas City. And so in your opinion, based on what you saw, how good's Missouri? Missouri's
good because they're one of the few teams that have carryover from last year.
Mark Mitchell.
From Bishop Miege High School. No, most teams are like revamping, and you just mentioned P.J. Haverty with fourth school.
Right.
This is normal for basketball. Cal last night is putting together a new roster. Not Mizzou. Mizzou has a number of guys who played last year, totally get the style, and it's a very unique and successful style for Big 12 or SEC basketball. It is physical, and Mizzou will attack the basket. They get fouled because they're going to smash their way in there, and the offense just starts if they miss. If they don't get a foul call and the ball goes up, Stephen, man, the ability to go offensive rebound. Now they've added a big-time dunker and defensive stalwart from Arizona State to add to Mark Mitchell. He's not the biggest guy out there, and not the biggest shot blocker. So Sean Phillips really makes a difference in the game. So Missouri's physicality is ready to roll. It's mid-season or almost March for them. They're playing very, very well. Now, they did mess around. Was it against SEMO?
Yep. Only won by 5. They didn't look good, but
yeah. But the coach there does a nice job. He used to be a Bruce Weber assistant,
okay,
and he's done a really nice job at SEMO. So Brad's done a really good job. Anyway, I like Missouri. I really like how tough they are on defense, and they are deep. Like, I don't know how they stop. How do they stop at 8?
Right.
Because 9 and 10 can play as well.
We have Stan Weber, a little college basketball for you now. When we come back, Chiefs Broncos. We're going to break it down after this on WHP. Stephen St. John here for Healthy Sleep Midwest. And Healthy Sleep Midwest, look, they helped me when I was not having success with my CPAP machine. Then I went to Healthy Sleep Midwest and got fit for a custom oral appliance, and it did wonders for me. It's done wonders for me, and it could do wonders for you. And let me tell you something, if you snore a lot, then it could also be a game changer. My wife tells me I don't snore as much, and she's very happy. And look, with the holidays almost here, between shopping, travel, parties, family gatherings, you need restful sleep to keep up with it all. And if sleep apnea is leaving you exhausted, it's time to make a change. At Healthy Sleep Midwest, you can ditch a CPAP for a small custom oral appliance that helps you sleep comfortably through the night. If you've already met your 2025 deductible, now's a perfect time to get started. Medicare patients could even pay little to nothing out of pocket. Call 816-SLEEP-DOCTOR or visit HealthySleepMidwest.com. That's 816-SLEEP-DR or visit HealthySleepMidwest.com. Healthy Sleep Midwest helps you rest easy, feel merry, and enjoy the season. Healthy Sleep Midwest. And when you talk to Healthy Sleep Midwest, tell them SSJ sent you. Okay, here's the injury report for the Chiefs. A little bit alarming. A couple of players that through the bye week we weren't anticipating to be on the injury report. First of all, Isaiah Pacheco, we did anticipate that. Did not practice again yesterday. He is not going to play, it looks like. But George Karlaftis has been a limited participant Wednesday and Thursday with a thumb. And then the new addition yesterday, Xavier Worthy, ankle, limited participant. Everyone else who was on the injury list, Jaden Hicks, Charles Omenihu, Trey Smith, Jawan Taylor, and Josh Simmons, all full participants. And there's the headline right there. Simmons, Smith, and Jawan Taylor, all full participants, both Wednesday and Thursday. But no Pacheco, and now I guess we could call Karlaftis and Worthy up in the air because limited participants. But the offensive line, it seems like I've gotten a different answer from everyone I've asked, so I'll ask you. Do you have any reservations about putting Josh Simmons back out there for his first game back in a month, Sunday against Denver?
Your question was any reservations. And yes, there has to be reservations because there's a balancing act in my mind about which way you play this out. You're going against a Denver front that is sacking the quarterback at the best rate of any team in the NFL in 25 years.
And he'll see a lot of Nick Benito.
So you don't want him to take any step backwards in his long-term development. You don't want any mental scars to enter in about, oh, wait a second, I got beat. A lot of times naively not knowing how hard the NFL is and just going out there with a swagger, like a quarterback who just goes and throws the ball as a rookie and says, I'm fine, and then you find out how dangerous it is out there and interceptions occur, and it can really force you to regress and get nervous. You can't have a left tackle with anything but 100% confidence because it is not an easy job, and you're always at risk. One little balancing false step in your setup, and a guy blows by you, no matter who it is in the NFL. And if your quarterback gets hit, obviously injury, but how about a fumble, strip sack, all of those kind of things. So, at first blush, he's a guy who has a different attitude, it appears. He walked in game one when I don't really trust rookies very much in that first year at left tackle. He pretty much said, I'm ready for this, and he loves the physicality and seems to be able to stand up to it. So if you evaluate that in practice, and he's got great coaches who understand this, right? I don't think the Chiefs are ones to push people. You think about an injury report, and you say, I don't know if this guy's going to play or not. You don't find the Chiefs are pushing guys out there and then they get injured worse. They play it conservatively. So they, Andy Heck, Andy Reid, old offensive lineman, deep in his heart, if they believe Simmons can go out there, I think it's probably okay. Now, I would probably talk to him. It's a really hard statement I'm about ready to make because you don't want to create doubt. But I might talk to him and say, you haven't played in a few weeks. Don't count on us playing you every down this game, but don't think of it's because of his evaluation. It's you're going to altitude in Denver. The breathing is supposedly a little bit harder for people who aren't used to playing up in the mountains. So just want to let you know that has nothing to do with what we believe in you or where we're going to be. But easing you in might include us giving you a rest during this game. So if he's getting beat a little bit, you can kind of use that excuse and go, hey, you're a little rusty. You'll be 100% next week. Why don't you come sit over here for a little while?
And he's come out of other games. That would not be something that would be unique. I mean,
Well, if he's used to that, that's fine. But I'm more worried about his long-term psychological thought process than being injured coming back. I don't think left tackles really – it's a super hard job, but I don't think they're at risk of getting hurt that much. The way they get hit nowadays is not, oh, man, that's going to really put your body in harm's way if you're not used to it. It's a lot about being a giant, strong, balanced person and having almost a dance step mentality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's about positioning now. It's not about getting smashed in the jaw. So I'm not worried about him getting injured. I'm just saying let's don't break his confidence because Denver's pass rush, if they let it loose and things really start going crazy, you don't want him to have any doubt in his mind that he's not ready to be the left tackle for the Chiefs.
We'll see. It should be very interesting to see who's out there at left tackle on Sunday against the Broncos. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHB. What is up, Kansas City? Steven St. John here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. And look, you know what's great? New customers bet just $5 and get 3 months of NBA League Pass, plus score $300 if your bet wins. All right? That's awesome. Paid in bonus bets. How about last night? The Hawks beat the Jazz 132-122. Watched a little bit of that game. Jalen Johnson, 31 points, 18 rebounds, 14 assists, 7 steals. Filling up the box score, Jake. I told you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. That's code 810WHB. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass. Plus, get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Kansas only. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, eligibility and restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.